majority of the time we look at the total value locked for the project. So,
Okay.
and most of the projects uses staking and liquidity used to look at those to maintain the total value locked of tokens. So now, if people stake, they are putting their tokens in the treasury in order to get rewards at the end of a period, just almost like token distribution and unlocks. But this is different. You are only putting in a fewer percentage of your token of your own. You buy the token. As you're buying, you're creating a demand for them. At the same time, you're locking it up in their own treasury, adding to their total value locked and then their supply. So at the end of the day, you get rewards in either the native token of the project or the native token of the blockchain or whatever it is set for staking. So, and if that is done, staking at the same time would emit rewards, but the structure of staking rewards as well go in line with the way unlocks are structured. You know, when if we are looking on chain, at the end of the day, we are looking on chain, we can have a news that says, okay, for example, I think it happened in Solana in November that about millions of the Solana token was being unstaked as at that period, because that was the period they set for the tokens to be unstaked. That is for people who staked their tokens, their Solana tokens, to get their reward at that period. So the total number of tokens being unstaked would also affect the price of that token, because as soon as they are unstaking, they are also what? As soon as they are unstaking, they are also selling, just in the because of the fear that comes in, that okay, if I'm still holding this token and the price comes, then all what I've done is going to dust already. So that is why people would sell, and then staking also causes a fall in price at the end of the day. That is when they are unlocking them. And so those are the things we look at as well in order to measure a solid and a good tokenomics. So these things are checked on chain, deep research and other things are done to it. So other factors like that. So each of those factors, just like I've explained, we look at them, their their behavior at the end of the day in the long term. What will happen to them in the long term in order to determine a good or structured tokenomics. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Like, I was so caught into the whole conversation that I didn't even know it was over already. That's super amazing input you have in there. Talking about projects, right? Token projects and all that. I think market a project market capitalization, it's another very important metric to really look at. It's super important. Could you please just give us a brief on let's say project's market cap or something?
Yes. Today, just some minutes before this thing, I've been reading on the crypto thesis of projects and the bigger companies of this thing. We have PwC, Messari, Coinbase, and all. So I've been reading them for a while now. I read something today in Messari and says the metrics that they use to measure what's it called, BTC dominance, is MVRV. We call it market value and realized value.
Okay.
Market cap is a very good measure to look at when we are talking about a project token, because a rise in market cap from 200,000 200k to 400k means a rise in the price of the token by what? By 2x, just that way, because it has the market cap rose by 2x, the price as well should rise or at the same level. So market cap is very necessary, and then it is calculated by multiplying the supply of the token by the price of the token. So that is how the market cap is calculated. So, however, one thing that people do not know that is that market caps look at the supply of the token, that is, look at the token, the circulating supply, the total supply of the token, the
Yeah.
circulating supply. It majorly looks at the circulating supply, that is the token that is going around as at that period alone, But there is one thing we also called realized cap, capitalization. So that realized cap is much more of a variable that measures better a token than the market cap, but people do not really look at it, because realized cap look at, because some tokens, what's it called, we call them dumped tokens, some other tokens. Realized cap look into a token, not just in terms of the market cap alone, that is not just the circulating supply alone, but
Okay.
even tokens that are lost, that is bonds tokens,
Yeah.
that some people will transfer tokens from a particular wallet to another, and at the end of the day they ended up transferring a token that of Ethereum, transferring it to BSC, and then they lost the token along the way. So those tokens too have an effect on the supply of the token. So that particular such tokens are what's it called are also measured by the realized cap. So, which is one of the metrics that look deeply into the capitalization of a token other than this. And that is why we have the MVRV, that is the market value, okay, the market cap of a token and the realized cap of a token. So we call it MVRV that way. So market cap is a very good measure of a token, because majority of the what's it called the tools, deck screener and everything, we have market cap. And when we look at the market cap, in order to determine, okay, how far can this thing go? What is the rate at which the market cap is rising, to know the rate at which the as well will be moving at the end of the day. Thank you on that.
Thank you so much. I we are a bit running out of time, so probably we'll just go to
All
our
right.
last question for the day, and then we'll call it a day. So, thank you so much for your response on the last question. So, talking about token governance and decentralized coordinations, I think governance plays a super huge role in tokenomics these days. So, what's your take on token governance and decentralized coordinations?
Yeah. When we talk about governance,
Yeah.
the moment we are looking at governance, we are looking at decentralization. And decentralization decentralization determines the fact that, okay, you as a project are not making the decision alone, are not
Okay.
making the decision of things that happen in the protocol alone. So that is one very important factor in DeFi. And governance does not happen just, when you have people in your project and then you want them to make decisions on behalf of something, a very important things you want to do in the project. Voting is one thing that goes in governance.
Okay.
Voting is one major, it is even the major aspect of governance. You want to make this decision, you are not deciding, okay, we want to do this just on our own. An example of decentralized governance, even without looking at the token, is when decided that, okay, oh, if people vote him out as the CEO of Twitter, he is going to succumb to it. So then he made a poll for people
Yeah.
to vote. That is decentralization. You are not making just the decision on your own to do this or not. You allow people to vote for that decision, and then you leave. So, however, for those decisions to be made
Yeah.
in the decentralized finance sector, we are looking at people who are holding the native token of that project.
Mm.
You can't make a decision without you having the native token of the project, without having the native token of the project. So
Word.
the governance the governance goes deeper, goes a long way deeper than what we have outside. Yeah, people look at just what we call just voting. We have issuance, we have some other things, some other factors and variables that is being looked at in governance, because lots of decisions are being made when it comes to governing and then coordinating the project and all. Because the moment a project makes or what's it called get makes an error of not involving the project, what's it called, the community within the decision made, or within anything that is trying to build, then it becomes a very huge problem for the project token. They say something. For example, governance goes along with a token, a project treasury, a
Yeah.
project treasury. So for example, a project decides to move its token probably from Ethereum to BTC. Its native, probably the native token is on the Binance Smart Chain (BSC) now. So decides to withdraw those tokens from BSC to Ethereum, just to maintain, probably just because of some fundamentals that has been recorded or something that has been seen prior to that. So, however, if they did not take the community along before doing that, that is a problem. Why? Because according to the statement, it says that that would create a doubt of the community onto the project and would create a fraud, uncertainty, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It will create it to the against the project, because at the end of the day, people will feel like, oh, I don't think we are safe under this project, being with this project. Let us go and withdraw all our tokens we have with them. Creating a fraud causes a what? A sell pressure. Sell pressure causes what? Problem for the project at the end of the day. So that is how governance works.
Amazing, amazing, bro. Thank you so much for your contributions and that particular input on that question. We really appreciate you here today. And on a final note, real quick, just give us what would be your advice? What would be your take home word for like what's your take home word for like anyone who wishes to go into a project as regards tokenomics? uh, what's your take home word to them, and briefly tell us where people can find you, because you are super rich in knowledge and there are a lot of people out there that needs this knowledge you that's in your brain right now. You're so much loaded, so just tell us where people can reach you and all that.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, um, all of the things we spoke about today are just basics
Yeah,
of tokenomics.
exactly.
It's very, very necessary for people to know. They are just basic. They are like 0.5%, less than that, of what the field entails. Because, but it is still very necessary. If you know, when we are looking at DeFi, we are looking at a researcher in DeFi would take an aspect of DeFi, or an aspect as a catalyst, in order to what in order to capitalize on. So if
Okay.
someone is making use of something as a catalyst, is either making use of, there are several catalysts, but now you want to use tokenomics as a catalyst. We are looking at the price impact, we are looking at the sustainability metrics, we are looking at
Yeah.
other metrics of this thing um in the DeFi section. So as someone coming into the tokenomics, coming into a project and want to review tokenomics, they should go through those features first. At least those features can do something and do a very great measure in determining little or in fact, it can determine a lot about the project in the short run. So the long run term, if someone a person that wants to venture into tokenomics deeper can then be looking at the advanced features or advanced stages of tokenomics. But those basic features would also determine a lot in a project sustainability. So that is one thing. And then to find me, I think you can find me on Twitter or LinkedIn.
All right.
On Twitter, Rubiks Web 3 Hub. That's what I use as my Rubiks Web 3 Hub. And then LinkedIn, I use my name, Abubakar Kamauddin Olawale, but Rubiks is also there. Rubiks is also there on my LinkedIn, everywhere Rubiks. So
All
that's
right,
the handle.
Rubiks, thank you so much for showing up for the show today. We really appreciate your presence and your contributions to this huge $1 million question. So I hope your question has been answered. And just like Rubik said, this is just like a piece of the cake on the whole tokenomics subject. So you can also do your own research, okay, and get more. And that's it for the show today. Thank you very, very much for listening. Thank you, Rubix, for coming for the show. And if you have
Yeah,
any
thank you.
questions or concerns, you can reach us on meta3blog@gmail.com, or you can email me directly on officialbarrymartin@gmail.com. And of course, you heard where to find Rubix, you know where to find him. So if you appreciate what we do here or what we're doing here, always we appreciate if you send us reviews on our Apple Podcast or Anchor or your preferred listening platform. So this episode was produced by myself with the support of the BlockTalk Podcast team and the Meta3 blog team as well. So uh, have a great day and thank you for listening. Bye, Rubiks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.